When I was born, I was so fragile that the heads of 5 prestigious families started fighting over who would make me their son-in-law. My mother had no choice but to agree. On my 22nd birthday, I would choose one bride from those 5 elite families. Everyone thought I would choose Sylvia, the girl I could never truly have. But instead, I chose my rival, Luna. In my previous life, after choosing Sylvia, her plane crashed before the wedding, and her body was never found. I searched for her like a madman for 20 years. Then, on a rainy night, I saw the woman everyone believed was dead. She was pressed against a wall, kissing Leo. Elena and Serena stood nearby, watching and waiting. As soon as they separated, the girls wrapped a coat around Leo and handed him fruit. One of them muttered, "You kissed for so long your lips got swollen. Leo, stay overseas with Sylvia. We'll keep Xavier distracted. He'll never find you." At that moment, everything became clear. Sylvia had fallen for Leo long ago. She faked her death just to run away with him, and the other 3 girls were just as obsessed with Leo. Their smiles and confessions were all fake, only meant to keep me occupied so I would never stand in the way of their real love. The moment I learned the truth, I ran away and got hit by a car. From the other side of the road, the 4 girls watched me die. The only person who came to me was Luna, my old enemy, the one I had always treated coldly. She stood in front of my grave, her eyes red from crying. Then a voice pulled me back. "Xavier, are you still listening?" I slowly took a deep breath. My fingers trembled slightly. "Mom, I've made my decision. On my 22nd birthday, I'll announce Luna as my bride. Please ask her to come home soon." I paused. My voice was quiet but firm. "You and Dad should personally go get her. Otherwise, she probably won't come." My mother didn't understand my reason, but she had always let me do whatever I wanted. She let out a long sigh and said, "Fine. If you insist, then tomorrow we'll leave for Switzerland." After hanging up the phone, I finally relaxed. I went upstairs and opened the hidden compartment in my closet. Inside were 4 beautifully wrapped gift boxes. Sylvia's diamond necklace, Elena's limited edition watch, Serena's auction-bought painting, and Eva's custom perfume. Every single one was expensive, and every single one was a lie from my previous life. I gathered them into my arms and walked out without looking back. I had just reached the garden when I heard a familiar voice. Leo's eyes were red, and his voice was overflowing with emotion. "Sylvia, the young master's 22nd birthday is almost here. He likes you so much. He'll definitely choose you. You're about to become someone's wife. I can't keep doing this with you anymore. The young master paid for my education, and behind his back, I kept stealing your love for myself. I've treated him so unfairly." He lowered his head. His voice nearly disappeared. "You're the heir of one of the most powerful families in the country. I'm just a poor student who only got to study because of the Schur family's kindness. Forget us. Forget everything." My footsteps stopped. Nearby, the 4 girls surrounded Leo and Sylvia. Sylvia grabbed Leo's wrist. "Who told you that you could leave? Even if he chooses me, I'll still only love you. Don't be scared. I've already planned everything. If he chooses me, I'll stage a plane crash before the wedding. I'll abandon everything and run away with you." While handing Leo a handkerchief, Elena said, "Once you run away, we'll keep Xavier occupied. He'll never find you." Serena added with a soft laugh, "Just leave peacefully with Sylvia. As long as we're here, you don't need to be afraid." Eva's voice was warm and gentle. But Leo bit his lip, his eyes glistening. "If the young master finds out, he'll be destroyed." The 4 girls immediately answered together. "We only care about you. Whether he lives or dies means nothing to us." I stood frozen behind the tree. It felt like an invisible hand was crushing my heart. Whether I lived or died meant nothing to them. They had already proven it. With an emotionless face, I walked forward carrying the gifts. My shoes crunched against the stones. "Young master." Leo's face instantly turned pale. He rushed toward me. "What are you doing here?" I didn't even look at him. "Throwing away trash. I'll help." As he said that, he grabbed the boxes. "The Schur family paid my university tuition. I need to repay that debt." "No need," I said coldly. "Don't force it." While we were arguing, Leo suddenly lost his balance. His fingers grabbed my arm, and both of us fell into the nearby pond. The freezing water swallowed us whole. I couldn't swim. I desperately flailed toward the surface. The 4 girls jumped into the water. But not for me. They rushed toward Leo while I slowly sank deeper. As water filled my nose, I saw Sylvia pulling Leo out of the pond. Elena took off her jacket and wrapped it around him. Serena pressed against his chest to help him breathe. Eva dialed the emergency number. Then Sylvia cupped Leo's face in her hands and pressed her lips against his. I froze. I could only watch as Sylvia gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation by the poolside. Cold water dripped from my hair, but it was nothing compared to the coldness inside me. In my previous life, Sylvia had always been cold and distant toward me. Whenever I touched her, she would repeatedly wash her hands. I thought she was just obsessed with cleanliness and uncomfortable around men. I believed that one day I could win her heart. But now I knew the truth. There had always been someone else she loved. I was never in her eyes at all. Using all my strength, I clawed my way toward the edge of the pool. My nails dug into the ground. I can't die. I still have to marry Luna. Nearby, Sylvia finally pulled away from Leo. After coughing twice, he slowly opened his eyes. Relief instantly appeared on Sylvia's face. She helped him sit upright and said, "Let's go to the hospital." Then she turned around and walked away without even looking at me, her body trembling. Only then did the other three girls notice me dragging myself across the ground. Elena was the first to run toward me. Today she was wearing a yellow dress. Even in the middle of the chaos, she still carried a natural elegance. Serena and Eva quickly followed behind her. "Xavier, are you okay?" Elena reached out to help me up. "It was too chaotic. We mistook Leo for you," Serena hurriedly explained. Eva handed me a towel. "Yeah, exactly. The water was too cloudy. We couldn't recognize you." I took the towel. My fingertips were ice cold. What a ridiculous excuse. The swimming pool water was crystal clear. There's no way they actually confused us. "We'll walk together." Elena spoke softly, but I could see the uneasiness they were trying to hide. They didn't want to go with me. They just wanted an excuse to meet Leo. "There's no need." I tossed the towel back. "I'm fine." "That's not acceptable," Serena said. "You're completely soaked. If you catch a cold." I cut her off mid-sentence. "If you want to go to the hospital, then go by yourselves." The three of them looked at each other. Eva tried again. "None of us are hurt, so why would we go? Please don't be angry. We really did mistake you for him. We'll take time off work and stay with you for the next few days. Think of it as making up for our mistake." I said nothing. I turned around and walked away. My wet clothes clung to my skin. My steps felt heavy, but I kept my back straight and never looked behind me. Over the next few days, the three women tried everything to win me over. Elena sent a brand new couture suit straight from Paris Fashion Week. Serena had a rare pink diamond necklace delivered by airship. Eva simply parked a limited edition sports car outside my door. "Xavier, there's an auction gala tonight." Elena stepped forward with a faint smile and handed me an invitation. "Let me take you there. It'll help take your mind off things." I looked at their eager faces and laughed quietly to myself. The venue was breathtaking. Everywhere I looked, there was gold and glass. I walked inside calmly, then suddenly stopped. In the VIP section, Sylvia was carefully guiding Leo to his seat. His tailored suit made him look taller and sharper. Those almond-shaped eyes that once captivated me now held tenderness meant only for him. Sylvia noticed me. Her brows furrowed as she walked over. Her voice was as cold as a business transaction. "Your mother mentioned choosing a bride, didn't she?" I met her distant gaze. "I know you want me, but I don't want you." Without another glance, she turned and walked back to Leo as if protecting something precious. Elena came over and rested a hand on my shoulder. "Xavier, Sylvia has no idea what she's losing. Someone will appreciate you." Serena adjusted her glasses. Behind those lenses, her warm smile looked incredibly sincere. "Exactly. The three of us like you. We'll always stay by your side." Eva took a glass of champagne from a passing waiter and placed it into my hand. Concern was written all over her face. "Have a drink, Xavier. Don't think about things that hurt you." I looked at the three women whose eyes seemed full of affection and smiled at myself in amusement. "I'm fine." Elena leaned in closer. Her warm breath brushed against my ear. "But honestly, Xavier, you drove Luna out of the country years ago. Now there are only 4 candidates left. So which one of us are you really going to choose? We're all dying to know." I was about to say that I didn't want any of them. But what came out instead was, "You'll find out very soon." An uneasy tension spread through the room. I merely curled my lips into a faint smile. In my previous life, I endured 20 years of suffering. Compared to that, a few days of uneasiness meant nothing. As soon as the auction gala began, the three women kept asking what had caught my eye. Every time, I simply shook my head. Meanwhile, Sylvia bid on everything Leo looked at. A diamond necklace. An antique pocket watch. A jade bracelet. I saw everything at a glance. But none of it affected me the way it once did. My heart was completely calm. I stared ahead expressionlessly until the final item of the evening was announced. The moment the auctioneer pulled away the red cloth, my pupils shrank. It was my late mentor's final masterpiece. Misty mountains in spring. Every brushstroke on the canvas instantly reminded me of his weak hands during his final days. In my memories, he would always pat my head affectionately and say, "This painting is the result of my life's work." Now he was gone. His wife cried every single day. If I could win this painting, maybe it would bring her some comfort. 5 million. Without hesitation, I raised my paddle. Leo suddenly tugged on Sylvia's sleeve. "This painting is beautiful." Sylvia immediately raised her paddle. 10 million. I clenched my teeth. 2 billion. The price kept climbing higher and higher. The entire hall fell silent. From the corner of my eye, I noticed Elena, Serena, and Eva quietly lowering their paddles because Leo wanted the painting so badly. How ironic. Less than 10 minutes ago, they had sworn they would buy me anything I wanted. My nails dug into my palm. I raised my paddle again. 5 billion. 8 billion. 10 billion. In the end, Sylvia won. While making the payment, she didn't even look at me once. I stood there frozen. Elena said softly, "Xavier, don't be upset. If you really like this painting, I'll go backstage and find one just like it." Serena quickly added, "Me too. I'll come with you." Eva joined in as well. I took a deep breath. I forcefully suppressed the wave of bitterness rising in my chest and walked straight toward Leo, who stood there like a king surrounded by everyone. "Name your price for the painting." My voice was frighteningly calm. Leo let out a faint laugh. A trace of satisfaction flashed through his eyes. "So even the great young master has to beg sometimes." He lowered his head and blinked innocently. "But money isn't everything. I'm not selling this painting." Then he smiled slightly. "But if you really want it, kneel down and beg me, and maybe I'll give it to you." My breathing stopped. That face that looked so fragile and helpless in front of women became arrogant and disgusting the moment he stood in front of me. That was exactly why I could never stand Leo. Not in this life, and not in the previous one either. I still can't understand what people even see in him. I slowly clenched my fists. "I already told you, this isn't about money. I just want to see you on your knees." Leo's smile grows even brighter. My eyes stay fixed on the painting he's holding carelessly in his hands. This is my mentor's final masterpiece, the one his wife longs for every single day. The moment I remember her tear-stained face, it feels like an invisible hand tightens around my heart. Fine. I'll kneel. Slowly, in front of everyone, I drop down onto one knee. The cold marble floor presses through the thin fabric of my pants, but compared to the cold inside me, it's nothing. When I stand back up, my voice is frighteningly calm. "Now will you give it to me?" Leo suddenly smiles. There's something chilling in that smile. He grabs both sides of the frame right in front of me and tears the canvas apart. The ripping sound echoes through the silent hall like a blade slicing through the air. Rage explodes inside me and I slap him hard across the face. That's when Sylvia's voice roars through the hall. "What do you think you're doing?" Leo covers his face and starts crying. "Don't blame the young master. It's my fault for coming here." His fingers clutch Sylvia's jacket, and at the perfect moment, his voice trembles weakly. "The young master likes you. Seeing you buy all these things for me obviously made him angry." Suddenly, Leo shoves Sylvia away from him. "Then let me disappear completely." He turns and throws himself toward the giant window. Sylvia's scream echoes across the entire hall, but by then it's already too late. The sound of shattering glass and the heavy crash slam into my ears. I run toward the window. Leo is lying below in a pool of blood, motionless like a broken butterfly. But the corners of his lips are curled into a smile. A smile like he got exactly what he wanted. Sylvia completely loses control. Her eyes are blood red as she pulls Leo out of the blood. Her voice is completely broken. "Someone get him to the hospital." Then she glares at me like she wants to tear me apart. "Xavier, You better pray Leo survives. If anything happens to him, I'll make you pay for it with your life. Under the harsh white lights of the hospital hallway, time itself seems frozen. A doctor says nervously, the patient is losing blood fast. He needs a transfusion immediately. But the hospital is out of Rh-null blood. Sylvia turns around. Her eyes are sharp as knives, and bodyguards immediately grab me. You have Rh-null blood too. On the hospital bed, Leo slowly opens his eyes. The young master has anemia. Don't let him donate blood. Is this really the time for that? Even now you're still worried about him? Leo, why are you so kind? Sylvia grabs his hand, her voice becoming unbelievably gentle. But the moment she turns toward me, her eyes become ice cold. Hold him down. I'm shoved violently onto the operating table. The freezing metal sticks against my back. I struggle with all my strength. My legs crash into the equipment rack nearby, sending instruments falling and shattering across the floor. Hold him tighter! Sylvia screams. 3 or 4 bodyguards pin down my arms and legs. My hair is a mess, and during the struggle my suit gets torn apart. I keep shouting Sylvia's name until my voice goes hoarse. There's a helplessness in my voice I don't even recognize. You're going to regret this. You will regret it. Sylvia's smile stays cold. She personally pushes the needle into my vein. Blood flows steadily through the tube. My consciousness slowly starts fading away. In that hazy state, I return to that rainy night from my previous life. Blinding headlights. Screeching brakes. And across the road, Sylvia and the others staring at me with cold, indifferent eyes. Only Luna, my lifelong rival, the girl I hated since childhood, stumbles toward me through the rain. She pulls my broken, blood-covered body into her trembling arms. On the operating table, my tears mix into the blood like pale, tragic flowers blooming in silence. Luna, when are you coming back? I miss you so much. My voice becomes softer and softer until it disappears into the cold air. When I open my eyes again, the bright light forces me to instinctively raise a hand over my face. The cluster of needle marks on my arm silently reminds me of what they did to me. Xavier, you finally woke up. Elena is the first to rush to my bedside. Those eyes that were always filled with warmth and affection are now overflowing with worry. She reaches out to touch my face, but I instinctively turn away. Sorry we were late, Serena says softly. Sylvia went too far. How could she force you to give blood like that? Eva hands me a cup of warm water. Get some rest. We're going to talk to Sylvia right now. I watch their awful performance in silence. My throat feels dry. I know this scene far too well. In my previous life, whenever Sylvia ignored me, these 3 would always appear without fail. They'd fill that emptiness with sweet words, then come up with an excuse to leave and run back to Leo. There's no need, I say, my voice rough and cracked. I want to be alone. The 3 of them look at each other. Elena is the first to stand up. Then get some rest. We'll be back soon. They quickly leave the room. The door doesn't even close all the way. I stare through the gap and hear their voices from the hallway. Leo just woke up. Sylvia is with him. She's not letting anyone inside. Let's go get his favorite desserts. The moment the door shuts, I suddenly laugh, and my eyes fill with tears. I'm so exhausted that I don't even have the strength left to expose their lies anymore. Over the next few days, I lie alone in the hospital ward. Every time the nurse comes to change my bandages, she looks at me like she wants to say something. Then she just sighs. Your friends didn't come again today. I simply nod. My eyes drift toward the bouquet of lilies on the bedside table that have now started wilting. Elena sent them 3 days ago. The petals have turned yellow and curled inward. They're exactly like the fake concern those women show on their faces. My phone rings. A message from Serena. Xavier, there's urgent work at the company. We have to go overseas. We hired the best caregiver for you. Then a message from Eva. We'll bring you gifts. A message from Elena arrives next. Get some rest. When we come back, we'll go to your favorite French restaurant. I throw the phone aside. It doesn't matter whether they come or not. But these careless, incompetent caregivers are unbearable. Boiling water spills onto my hand. Blood flows back into the 4-tube, and nobody even notices. While changing the dressing, they yank the gauze so hard that I cry out in pain. Instead of healing, I'm getting new burns and bruises. I'm getting discharged. Eventually, I get tired of everything. Despite everyone's objections, I sign the discharge papers myself. Right then, Elena, Serena, and Eva return after finishing their work to pick me up. As we pass by the VIP ward, a soft conversation comes through the half-open door. "One more sip," Sylvia says lovingly. "According to the doctor, you need nutrition." I freeze in place. Through the crack, I see Sylvia feeding soup to Leo. Her fingers move with such tenderness, like she's handling something fragile. A nurse whispers nearby. "She's been here for days. She even cancelled meetings." That's real devotion. Without realizing it, my fingers tighten around the edge of my jacket. Elena immediately steps forward. Her beautiful face fills with sympathy. "Don't be sad." Sylvia doesn't realize what she has. "But we like you. At the birthday banquet, choose one of the three of us." Eva leans closer. "We'll behave properly. Promise." I smile, but my eyes are cold as ice. "I'm not choosing." Slowly, I raise my eyes toward them. Every word leaves my mouth carefully. "None of you. Not a single one." The three of them exchange glances. The same pampering smile appears on all their faces. It's obvious they think this is just a boy throwing a little tantrum. Suddenly, Eva leans forward. "How about this, Xavier? The weather's so nice today. Why don't we go to the Royal Equestrian Club? It'll help clear your mind too." Without emotion, I shake my head. "I don't want to go." "Don't think like that. Fresh air is good for your health." Elena grabs my hand and pulls me toward the car. "Come on. The Royal Equestrian Club is lush and beautiful. The wind carries the scent of fresh grass. But all I feel is a coldness that reaches my bones." "Xavier, go pick a horse and take a ride." Serena hands me a helmet. "We're going to grab some refreshments." "Fine." Without thinking, I take it and choose a calm mare. Right now, I just want to get away from these suffocating people. The horse begins trotting slowly. The wind brushes past me, and for a moment, I almost forget everything. But the second I let my guard down, chaos erupts in the distance. Hundreds of horses suddenly come charging straight toward me from nowhere. Panicked, I try to turn my horse around, but it's already too late. I pull the reins with all my strength. The terrified mare refuses to listen. In the chaos, I'm thrown from the saddle and slammed onto the ground. The first hoof crushes into my leg. I hear the sound of bone breaking. Then a second hoof. Then a third. I curl up on the grass as blood soaks into it. Before darkness takes over, I see three figures standing there, watching me. When I wake up, the bright light burns my eyes. My body is wrapped in bandages. Even the slightest movement sends pain through my entire body like fire. From outside the door, Sylvia's cold voice reaches my ears. I stop breathing. "You went too far. I only asked you to make him donate blood. But you bribed the caretakers to torture him and released hundreds of horses on him. His bones are broken, and he barely survived. Who told him to mess with Leo?" Eva's voice sounds careless. "It was just a small punishment. Pretending to like him every day makes me sick." Elena's words stab into my chest like a poisoned knife. If it weren't for Leo, who would even play this kind of game? I bite my lips hard. So it was them from the very beginning. The boiling water. The blocked four. Even the stampede. Everything had been planned already as revenge for Leo. I don't understand. Even if they didn't love me, we still grew up together. They used to stroke my hair and call me Little Xavier. Whenever I got sick, they stayed by my side all night. They put their whole hearts into planning surprise birthday parties for me. And now, for someone they'd only known for a few months, they destroyed me. I want to burst through the door and demand answers. I want to scream until my throat tears apart. But another wave of pain crushes me, and I sink back into darkness. When I open my eyes again, I don't know how much time has passed. The room is empty. Only the glow of my phone screen remains. 3 unread messages. "Xavier, forgive us. We failed to protect you. To make up for our mistake, we came overseas. Get well soon. If you need anything, tell us. We'll bring it for you." I put the phone down. I feel nothing anymore. I don't even have the energy left to be sad. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear another word of their hollow concern. I just want to lie here alone and recover. But that same day, the door suddenly swings open. Leo walks in, his shoes clicking against the floor. Unlike me, he looks perfectly healthy while I'm wrapped in bandages. "I heard you were badly injured." There's obvious cruelty in his voice. Sylvia stayed with me every single day. She feeds me with her own hands and even helps me sleep. He lowers his head, pretending to look innocent. And here you are. No one even came to see you. How pathetic. I can't even look at him anymore. Do you need any help from me? Suddenly, Leo presses down on my broken leg. In pain, I shove him away.